Teacher talking sports, what it does, what it do, how we live, and we are very close to the NFL regular season taking place just 10 days away from Thursday night football opener. So today, ESPN came out with their 2023 NFL rank where they predicted the top 100 players for this upcoming season. The NFL 100 recently came out. That was voted on by the players. I did a video looking at some of the guys I thought were the biggest snubs. So rather than do that for ESPNs, we're just going to take a look at the top 20, give some quick thoughts. Maybe at the end, I'll name 21 through 100. I don't want this to be a 30-minute video, but let's get into it. 2023 NFL rank, predicting top 100 players for this season. So it says, to create our list, we asked a panel of dozens of ESPN NFL experts to rate players based on performance expectations for the 2023 season as compared with their peers. Emphasis was placed solely on the upcoming season and predicting potential greatness rather than past performance, career resume, or positional value. This means long-term injuries and suspensions played a part, which is why Jalen Ramsey, for instance, is missing. And from those ratings, we were able to rank the best of the best, 1 to 100 mentioned. Niners lead the way with 8 players on the list. The only team without a person to make the list, the Arizona Cardinals. Buda Baker definitely had a strong case. 2/3 of last year's top 100 returned from last year. Wide receiver have the most on here, 21 different wide receivers, 12 quarterbacks, 14 edge defenders. Let's get into it. Number 1, Patrick Mahomes. I mean, if he wasn't number 1, you would have to think that ESPN was just doing it on purpose to try to get more people to talk about the list. You know, sometimes you see something completely outlandish on lists like this, and you almost have to assume it's the website just trying to get more people talking. But ESPN does the right thing here. 4th straight year, Patrick Mahomes leads the way. 2nd, Justin Jefferson. Kind of surprising in receivers, number 2, although when you are as dominant as Jefferson's been, it can't be all that surprising. 4,825 receiving yards over 3 seasons. I probably would add him top 5. Not sure 2nd, just because how important quarterback is. 3rd, Jalen Hurts was not ranked last year. This may surprise some people. I'm not necessarily saying it's wrong, but when you read most people's rankings of the top quarterbacks, even though Jalen Hurts was the runner-up for MVP, usually you see Mahomes, Burrow, Allen, top 3. Burrow mostly 2nd. Sometimes you'll see Josh Allen 2nd. But here they are saying Jalen Hurts expected to be the 2nd best quarterback in the NFL. Of course, has a stud duo of wide receivers in Devonta Smith and A.J. Brown. And with the damage he does with the legs, his legs wouldn't surprise me. 4th, the aforementioned Joe Burrow. I'm kind of surprised he was only 26th on last year's list. Of course, has already appeared in the Super Bowl, nearly made the Super Bowl last season. No problem with him being here. 5th, his teammate Jamar Chase, up from 14th. Jamar Chase is outstanding. I personally don't think he's the 2nd best wide receiver in the game. I would actually have Devontae Adams over him here. But, Jamar Chase, definitely very productive first 2 seasons in the league. And that is even with it missing 5 games last season. 6th, Micah Parsons. 12th last year, no problem with him being the top-ranked defensive player on here, runner-up for Defensive Player of the Year. Each of the last 2 seasons, as you see it mentioned, one of 3 players with at least 13 sacks of each of his first 2 NFL seasons since it's been an official stat, 1982, alongside Aldon Smith and Reggie White. Gotta hope he's more Reggie White than Aldon Smith. 7th, Josh Allen, pretty fair ranking. He was 5th last year. An elbow injury kind of caused his numbers to dip a little bit in the second half, but definitely one of the most electric players in the league. Bills really need to break out. Have been Super Bowl contenders for the past 3 years, just haven't been able to reach the big game. Aaron Donald falling from second to eighth, second-ranked defensive player. Guy who's been double teamed so much more than any player in the league. 3-time NFL Defensive Player of the Year, tied for the most in NFL history. Season-ending ankle injury. Rams do not have a lot of veteran talent on their defense, so he may have even more pressure on him this season. Nick Bosa, the reigning Defensive Player of the Year, 9th, currently holding out for a new contract, but had 18.5 sacks last season to lead the NFL. Probably deserves to be in the top 10. Christian McCaffrey, not sure I'd have him in the top 10. Up from 71st. Yes, he was quite valuable for the 49ers once he joined the team. Just so many weapons on that team, along with Debo, Brandon Ayuk, George Kittle. And he's such a rushing and receiving threat. Would I rank him the top running back? Maybe. I'm just not sure that deserves to be top 10. Here's a guy I think might be a little too high. Justin Herbert, 11th. Don't get me wrong. He has all the talent in the world. As you see that 5-year, $262.5 million extension he just received. Most passing yards through a player's first 3 seasons. Still 0 playoff wins. Of course, not all his fault, but just a huge disappointment the way they blew that Jaguars game in the postseason. 12th, Travis Kelce. I probably would have Kelce 10th over Christian McCaffrey, although there's an offensive lineman I think probably should be in the top 10 I haven't named yet. But Kelce clearly still the best tight end in the NFL. 13th, Myles Garrett. I almost feel like he's slightly under the radar because the Browns, they're the Browns. But I'm expecting the Browns to be an improved team this season. Myles Garrett really should be considered one of the favorites for Defensive Player of the Year. As you see, he's had to face the highest double team rate of any edge rusher over the past 3 seasons. Back-to-back 16 sack seasons. 14th, Sauce Gardner. Prematurely this high, I'm not sure. I mean, he was incredible his rookie season. You see, first rookie corner to be first team All-Pro since Ronnie Lott in 1981. This teacher wasn't even born yet. Just an incredible lockdown corner, reminding Jets of Darrelle Revis. 15th, T.J. Watt falling, 2021 Defensive Player of the Year. Missed a bunch of time with a pectoral injury. Only had 5.5 sacks, but it's still one of the dominant edge rushers in the game. Here's another guy I probably would have put over Jamar Chase, and he's 11 spots behind him. That is Tyreek Hill. What an outstanding first season it was for Hill with the Dolphins. We've heard him say he wants to get 2,000 yards this season. Of course, that won't be easy. But if Tua is able to stay healthy, maybe. And also keep in mind, Mike White as the backup. Mike White had some prolific games with the Jets. So while he's not as good as Tua, he still might put up good passing yardage numbers if forced into action. 17th, Joey Bosa. Think he's too high, not because he doesn't have the potential to be 17th, but just too much of an injury risk. Played just 5 games last season. 18th, Trent Williams. Much like the NFL Top 100 list, I feel like this list is underappreciating offensive linemen. Left tackle's arguably the second most important position in the game behind quarterback. And to not have one until 18th is kind of crazy to me. And yes, Trent Williams is at an age where he should be on the decline, but he is not showing it. Niners, outside of him, don't look like they have a great offensive line. It's going to be up to Trent Williams, to give Brock Purdy the protection he needs. 19th, A.J. Brown. As good as I think A.J. Brown is, I probably would have put Diggs and Adams over him. I'm really shocked Davante Adams is as low as he is. Not that he's low, but also maybe Cooper Kupp. You could give the argument as well. But it was an outstanding first season for A.J. Brown with the Eagles, and the Titans really missed him. Treylon Burks just couldn't stay healthy. Robert Woods was a huge disappointment in his one season with the Titans. And to round out the top 20, Lamar Jackson, 20th. I've gone on record in previous videos saying I think it's going to be Lamar Jackson's second best season of his career, only behind his MVP season. I think he's going to be fully motivated after getting his huge contract to go out there and perform. As you see, mentioned, since 2018, the Ravens are 45-16 with Jackson as their starter and 8-13 when he hasn't played. So there is the top 20. I'll quickly go over the rest. So 21-30, Stephon Diggs, Davante Adams, Fred Warner, Jair Alexander, Cooper Kupp, Nick Chubb, Chris Jones 27th, way too low, although maybe they're thinking that he's going to miss out on a few games and that puts him lower. Trevor Lawrence, Aaron Rodgers, George Kittle. 31-40, Zach Martin, Javon Hargrave, CeeDee Lamb, Pat Surtain II, Max Crosby, Terry McLaurin, Minkah Fitzpatrick, Dak Prescott. I think 38's too high, but Saquon Barkley, Quinnen Williams. 41-50, Hassan Reddick, Lane Johnson, Garrett Wilson, Deebo Samuel, Tua, Xavier Howard, Mark Andrews, Dexter Lawrence, Laramie Tunsil, Jalen Waddle. 51-60, Tristan Wirfs, DK Metcalf, Trey Hendrickson, Brian Burns, Roquan Smith, Andrew Thomas, 56. I mentioned in my snubs NFL 100 video, how the heck was he not on the NFL top 100 players list? He's at least 56th here. Devonta Smith, Jeffrey Simmons, T. Higgins, Derwin James Jr. 61-70, Amon-Ra St. Brown, DeForest Buckner, Chris Olave, Jonathan Allen, Josh Jacobs. 65 seems low. Orlando Brown Jr. 66. Some Chiefs fans probably think he probably shouldn't even be on here. Aiden Hutchinson, Tre'Davious White, Justin Simmons, Daron Payne. 71-80, Darius Slay, Penny Sewell, Ryan Ramczyk, Terran Armstead, Eric Armstead, Mike Evans, Jason Kelce, Marshawn Lattimore, Joel Bitonio, Creed Humphrey, 81-90, Daniil Hunter, Reek Woolen. I kind of missed the memo. I've seen written Reek Woolen everywhere. Guess he wants the TA out of his name and just be called Reek. AJ Terrell, Javon Holland, Matt Milano, Kayvon Thibodeau, Rashawn Slater, Austin Eckler, Calvin Ridley, Tyler Lockett, 91-100. Jared Goff, Derrick Henry, 92nd. I mean, I get running backs aren't being shown love, but sheesh. Marlon Humphrey, Kirk Cousins, Joe Thuney, Matthew Judon, Von Miller, Christian Wilkins, DJ Moore, Trayvon Diggs rounds out the top 100. And I know I said I wasn't going to mention snubs. I already did a video, NFL top 100. I don't think I named Jonathan Taylor, and I guess because of his disagreement with the Colts wanting to be traded. Maybe that's why they kept him off. But what are your thoughts with ESPN NFL Rank 2023, top 100 players of 2023? Let me know your thoughts. What do you agree with? What you disagree with? Would you have Jefferson second, Hurts third? Would you have had Jamar Chase over guys like Tyreek Hill, Davante Adams, Stephon Diggs, Cooper Kupp? So many great receivers, though. It's hard to actually power rank them. But let me know your thoughts. Don't forget to subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to subscribe. Like the video, share the video, hit the bell for notifications. I'm